Alright, so I'm going to show you how we finish off our sheets and lines here on Moondrifter. Things you're going to need are your line, some tape. I like to use electrical tape. It's nice for getting a nice clean cut and a tight wrap. A good pair of scissors, a lighter, and some synthetic line equal to the diameter of one strand of your rope that you're going to be whipping. The line here we're using is a synthetic line mixture between nylon, polyester, and polypropylene. So what you're going to do to get started, I guess I'll just start from step one. Say this tape wasn't here and we didn't cut it with the tape on and it was nice and frayed. You would want to put a nice tight single wrap around the rope. Take your good pair of scissors and go ahead and cut it right where that tape is. So it gives you a nice clean cut and no fray. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to take about 2 to 3 feet of that synthetic line. You can cut it or you can just burn it. Alright, so now you have your rope and you have your small synthetic line. The next thing you're going to want to do is make a loop in that line. Just like that. And you want enough length on the short end so when it comes time to pulling through, you have enough to hold on to pull it through. So I'll give myself, I don't know, maybe 5 inches. Now I'll make a 2-inch loop on the end of that line there, and I want to make sure, or I try to make sure, that the smaller end is on top because I'm going to be wrapping forward over top of it. You can have it opposite and wrap underneath, but I find it easier to wrap over top. So I have that loop there. I'm going to hold it there with my thumb, and then I'll take the longer end of the line and wrap over the shorter end near the end of that rope. And I don't want to pull too tight just yet. I'm going to wait until about the second or third wrap until I start pulling tight there. And then you're just going to make a series of tight wraps side by side, as pretty as possible, and you're going to keep wrapping until it's about as wide as the rope is wide. And that tail wants to get caught. That's kind of the downside of making it longer, but you'll thank yourself in the end. Sometimes your wraps will try to overlap, or sometimes there will be a gap, and you can always stop and kind of push them together with your thumb. And I'd say that's probably pretty good, just as wide as our line. So that loop you made earlier and the wrapping end, you'll take that and put it through the loop there. And then with the longer end that you left at the beginning, you want to pull that through and just until you get to that last wrap. This will give you a chance to tighten that last wrap one last time. And then you're going to pull this through until that loop end is right in the middle of these wraps. All right, so now my loop that we made and pulled through is right in the center there. Now we can just cut off these extras and burn them. All right, so you can see I didn't push those together, but you can always do it at the end. It's a little tighter if you do it before though. And the final step in this is to burn this end. You can burn it on with the tape on, but I'm inside and it's gonna smoke and smell a little bit. So I can pull this tape off and then I'll just burn the end of this line just so it doesn't fray any more than it needs to. And that is how we whip the ends of our lines.